Yo, what's good with y'all boys? Your boy Xave. Welcome back to another video. Yeah, I'm gonna be showing y'all how to make dark melodies for artists like J Dot, Anti, Boston, like artists kind of in that similar sound. With that being said, if y'all new to the channel, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Let's try to get 15 likes. And with that being said, let's get right into it. All right, so boom, I'm gonna show y'all what it sounds like first. For these type of samples, y'all gonna want a couple things. You're gonna want energy, tone, bounce. Really, that's it, to be honest. Oh, repetitiveness. By the way, I'm gonna be showing y'all two samples. I didn't do the drums, I just made the sample. So what I did first was go into Omnisphere. I pulled out the grand piano, denoise strong, reverb off, and then all I did was go into C minor and just play the 1 and the 3. This is what it sounds like. And yeah, it's really simple. Some sauce I'm gonna give y'all if y'all want like a darker tone, because sometimes like if you have these at the same velocities, as you can tell I have them at different velocities, sometimes this higher tone just overpowers the bass. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want that and you want more like this sound, what y'all want to do is grab the top notes of this and just bring it down to like a little bit to half, more than half, and have the lower tone higher. Because unless you want it to be, you know. So for the mix, I never realized I didn't do this until like 2 weeks ago. I started EQing my bass notes. So all I started doing was going into these little arrows right here, because y'all can't see the drop down, going into the 30 hertz plus 18, and then just dragging it to cut out some of the lows, just so I can have some space for any 808 or other bass. Initially, I wanted this to be a piano, but I didn't like the sound of it. So what I did was go into Omnisphere, pull out this Polar Vortex bell pad, and it had this Clocking Dream, but I took it off just to have this friggin' sound. It sounds like. Like I said, repetitiveness and layers. Yeah, it more so sounds like a pad that I like. And I put a EQ in the low mids and mids. I had a halftime on, but I didn't really like it, so I took it off. And then I put a vintage verb, dropping the mix 4.8% with a decay of 1.6, and then boosting the low cut. And then I EQ'd some of the lows from right here as well. And yeah, that's what it sounds like together. For these dark samples, what I started doing a lot, especially like it's more so like a go-to, I've been going into SRX Orchestra and pulling out like a string, and then what I just did for this one was copy bass notes of my sample, copying it, string, pitching it up, and this is what it sounds like. So yeah, it's nothing crazy. It's also the 25th preset. All I did was just drop down the volume, add an EQ just to EQ out some of the frequencies I didn't like, and then add some reverb to have it drown out. Next, after that, I knew I wanted to layer my initial sound, my main sound. So what I did was go into Analog Lab, pulling out this Tesla preset, and then copy and pasting it, and then this is what it sounds like. and then all I did was just EQ it. I didn't want to add no reverb or anything to this because it already felt like too much, so I just wanted to get rid of some frequencies. After that, I went back in the analog lab and pulled out the exclusive preset, and this is the main layer, except I took out some of the notes, as you can see right here. Took out the D and the F, and then this is what it sounds like. Yeah, it's just repetitive, and it works perfectly because of the little glide effect that the preset has. I didn't put anything on it because I felt like it was good. After that, I went into purity. I pulled out this tubular bell and then just put it on the root note. And then for the bell, I just had this EQ. After that, I went into and pulled out this choir women oohs ahs wheel. And then for the mix, all I did was EQ the mids because these were extremely harsh, and then pulled out a reverb, lowering the mix and the decay and raising the low cut. And then all I did was just copy and paste the root notes. That's what it sounds like. Like I said, I didn't really want it to be nothing like more so key-ish, if that makes sense. I wanted it to be more ambient, ad-like, but still have rhythm and movement. After that, I was done with it, but I feel like I could have done with one more thing. I opened up Analog Lab, went into this upright piano, this favorite preset, and then I just drew in this little pattern right here. And for the mix, this is practically the same EQ, lowering the low end, it's the mid, again with the low end. This really does nothing more than the original EQ. I just have it because I forgot to delete it. And then I added some vintage verb, lowering the mix, the low cut. And after that, but I'll let y'all hear the whole thing. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's that. And then after that, all I did was just separate this to two little bars right here. After that, all I did was separate the stems by 2 bars each and then rendered it out. So now I'm gonna go into the second sample. And yeah, boom, here we are, second sample. I'm gonna let y'all hear it. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it. Let's go. So boom, first off, what I did, instead of doing the bass this time, I decided to go and try something different. So what I did was go with Nexus. For the amount of sounds that Nexus has, it has a very limited amount that are actually good in my opinion. After some digging, I went and found this cheap pad, which is alright. What I did was just play the D sharp and the A sharp, which is the 1 and the 7th. And then just to not have it be repetitive this time, I decided to just change it from the A sharp to the B, and then from the sharp, all within the scale and the chord, of course. But it's just, like I said, not to have it repetitive. So this is what it sounds like. But like the name itself, it does sound cheap, but I kind of liked it. But beforehand, it did sound like it was too much. So what I did was EQ heavy out the mids and a little bit of the trebles, just to have some of that out of here. I didn't like it. Then I put a tape mellify. I just have it turned off so y'all don't hear the little static noise. And then I put on a reverb with 20% mix, and the low cut turned up. After that, I went into Omnisphere, pulling out the LA Custom C7 Cinematic, denoise strong, reverb off. All I did was throw down the bass notes, which is in this sample a D sharp and a G sharp. Yeah, like I said, what I like to do is stack my bass notes and then mess with the velocities. That way I have more low end than high end, especially with these dark samples. I suggest y'all try it out if y'all having issues with your bass notes sounding a little bit too high. Yeah, this is what it sounds like, you know, simple. After that, I went into analog and then pulled out this glue stick preset, and then copy and pasted the Nexus MIDI into this, except all I did was press Control L, stretch it out, and then this is what it sounds like. So this one has a lot of effects on it. This has an EQ, lowering a lot of the low mids and the bass, and then EQ some of the mids. Then I decided to throw halftime on here. I didn't change anything at halftime, I just kept it the same. Valhalla Vintage Reverb, mix 72, low cut 690, and then delay, some Valhalla delay, not touching anything here, but changing the bus. I'm gonna let y'all hear what it sounds like without effects and with effects. Without effects, it's just terrible, but yeah. I love it with effects. After that, I went into Expand. I would recommend that y'all get Expand. Expand is like usually on sale for like 10 bucks. It has a lot of good presets. And it's like a budget VST, which is crazy. What I did was click on the button right on the bottom of it and opened up the brass and woodwind section. By the way, if y'all didn't know and have an Expand, if you click this right here, y'all can't see it on my screen, and go through the presets on here, it opens up more sounds. So yeah, I went into the brass section and pulled out the orchestral brass and layered it down to the bass notes, and then all I did was layer it, same velocities, and this is what it sounds like. For the effects, I didn't touch anything. It's more so for like an introduction, just a layer with the piano. After that, I went into Omnisphere and pulled out this Zodiac. It has these two layers right here. The only thing that I edited in the mixer track was just the EQ, lowering out a lot of mids and high mids, and this is what it sounds like. Then I went back into Omnisphere again, pulling out this boys choir, this stock. And then for the mix, all I did was EQ low mids and mids, added some Valhalla, dropping the mix, making a little bit more ambient, the decay and low cut as well. And then something different is that I added this chorus June 6, and I did nothing to it. I just left it there, except I just dropped the mix a little bit. And then this is what it sounds like. And it sounds different from what you're probably usually used to hearing with those type of vocals because of the chorus June 6. This is what it sounds like without no plug. Yeah, I just preferred it this time because it's different. Then I went into Omnisphere again. I pulled out the Growler Moog bass and then copy and pasted the root notes to the bass note, and then creating this. There's no effects on it either. I just have it copy and pasted and just leveled. Then I went up Purity again from the last sample, pulling out the tubular bell and then laying it down only on the one, on the root note, which is D sharp again, and then For my mix on my bell sound, I added an EQ, lowering the harsh frequencies from the D sharp. If you're copying and pasting this chain line, make sure y'all change the frequencies that you're adjusting because it's gonna sound different based on the notes, right? Then I went into gross beat, dropping this to 50%, and then adding this 1 beat gate. Then I went into fruity delay, putting the time up to 8, then the cut to 50, and then adding this Valhalla vintage verb with 20%, 0.57 seconds of decay, and then the low cut is turned up. Again, it sounds like this. And then you could just copy and paste it if you wanted to, like I did right here. After that, I went into splice and then found this string sound. And then I just trimmed it a lot and then boosted it up. And this is what it sounds like. And then for that, all I did was just EQ it because it was kind of harsh. And yeah, that's how I make my dark samples. If y'all did enjoy, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. New content on the way. Most consistent y'all ever seen. And with that being said, I'm out. Appreciate y'all.